Razer's pretty well known for their peripheral products, mainly aimed at gamers. Well, I think they're all aimed at gamers, really, aren't they? Yeah, definitely. And it's not just keyboards and mice.
Actually, you know, not just gamers can use their products. Anybody who appreciates comfort and computing can use their products, really.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, all their marketing is always aimed at gamers.
True.
But it's not just things that plug into your PC like keyboards and mice, it's mats as well.
Right.
So we've got a few, we'll start with that.
Well, I've got a perfectly good mouse pad.
Well,
would I need a special
actually,
gaming
I'd say
mouse?
That's pretty shocking, actually. Now, that does have a Thermaltake logo on it. And no offence to Thermaltake, great company, but I think this was kind of like a throwaway giveaway thing with
it was. I got it off their stand at a computer show. You know, it was a giveaway.
These things are a dime a dozen. You can get them with everything from Simpsons, Star Wars, whatever you want on them.
So because I might have a mouse pad on my desk doesn't necessarily mean I've got a quality or a good mouse pad, right?
Absolutely not.
There's a big difference between a cheap throwaway or $5 mouse pad that you get at your local shopping centre than to a gaming mouse pad, right?
Yeah, I mean that one's got no friction at all. I mean everything just glides across it, which means you can't really do
the fast, right?
Yeah, but you can't do the precise movements that you might want for targeting, for example. So yeah, that one deserves to go in the bin. Good thing about it though, it does have a rubber backing, and so does this. This is the Goliath.
Goliath is not exaggerating at all. That's huge.
It is 44.4 centimetres by 35.5 centimetres. So it's called the oversized Goliath.
Right.
There is.
So that's for people with really big hands, right?
I think it's for people who. I mean, honestly, you must have a bit of a weird way of gaming because you're like. Or a really big screen?
What this would be for, most likely, I'm just kind of predicting here, is for real-time strategy games where you have to move across the map and whatever else.
It would have to be.
Need a lot of movement space or whatever else. Or you just like moving around. I'm personally a more precise type gamer where I would actually
you use your wrist more
have more wrist movement. But I've seen some of these guys playing like Warcraft 3 and StarCraft and things like that, where they do have a lot of action there as far as their movement is concerned, moving their wrist a lot more than normal. So, well,
what they have designed, it's a matte weave. It does have a rubber back so that it's it's not going to move on your desk, and it has friction, but it's also it glides as well, and it's designed so that it will be able to be used with any type of mouse.
It's a matte material surface, from what I can tell.
Yeah.
Pretty smooth, but not too slippery.
Yeah. Now the big one is $25. Then there's a medium-sized one, and then your standard-sized one, which would be about the same size as these mouse mats, which we'll talk about in a moment.
Yep.
And it goes down by $5 each time. So 25, then 20, then 15. So this is another style of mouse mat, wrap pads. There's two styles. That's the newer one.
These are the mouse pads I personally use. They're a hard.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with being too hard, right? So these are for like if you're gaming on an odd surface. So if you're going to a LAN party, especially, I find it's really good because you get those old trestle tables and all. And sometimes, especially if you're like caught on an edge or something like that, these would just go across the edge and it's still a flat surface. They might get a bit wonky sometimes.
Well, that's the thing.
If it's too much of a
if there's too much of a gap, then it can't sort of adjust. Whereas this is a bit more.
So this has got a very interesting texture on it. I mean, again, it's designed for smooth ability when you're moving across it without too much restriction.
Yeah, but enough friction that you can do precise movements as well.
Now, some of those sexy looking mouse pads that you get from your computer shops and whatever else that have kind of like funky patterns on them and all that, I've found some mice can actually work on them.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of, with both these mouse pads, the wrap pads one and also the Razer mouse pads, there's a lot of technology gone into designing the surface to ensure that the majority of mice work, the sensors in the mice work on all these surfaces.
Yeah.
So it's very important looking at the surface of the mouse pad.
With the wrap pads, there's two versions at the moment.
This is old school. This is
an old one, but they've re-released the same design.
That's right.
So it's $25 and that one's $15.
Okay.
So
these things also have like a lifetime warranty on them or something, don't they?
I think they do.
Yeah. So I mean, it's never going to die. It's with you forever.
Yeah. Whereas the Goliath, that one, I mean, obviously you've got to stick it in a backpack or something to carry it. Whereas this one rolls up.
Roll it up.
And it doesn't get damaged.
So it really depends on whether you like it small and hard or big and floppy, right?
That is terrible.
Sorry, I had to do that one.
I don't know that you did. But anyway, let's move along now to mice, shall we? Now, we have two mice from Razer. This one's the adder.
That one looks kind of grubby, Fiona.
I know.
What's going on here?
I've actually been using this one for a couple of months, and I really like it, actually. I don't think I'll be giving this one back. It's really, really light. Yeah, I mean, that's what I just love about it.
That's a multi-button mouse as well, right?
1,
so you got
2, 3, and 4, 5.
Two thumb buttons as well, so for extra
It doesn't
activities.
have any other sort of adjustments to it, though. It is, you know, I mean, it's basic, but for an FPS gamer, who, you know, where you don't have a lot of...
Well, I mean, there's really a couple of levels of mice. So you spend like your $35 bracket, and then you go right up to your $100 bracket mice. So the $100 ones have got all the bells and whistles on it, but I've heard a lot of people complain that sometimes they're too complicated or have too much
features. And they can be too heavy too. I think a lot of wireless mice with the batteries in them, they can really,
I hate that,
yeah, they can just be too heavy. These two are similar. This one's the Samosa.
That one's quite a bit smaller than one you're using.
It is a little bit smaller, which would be good for taking, you know, to LAN parties and things. But it does have more adjustments. You can adjust the DPI and the hertz on the back there.
Right. So basically, you can adjust how quickly it moves across. The arrow moves across your screen, and also how often it sends information to and from your computer.
Yeah.
The higher or the more often you're sending information to your computer, the more CPU utilization the mouse will use. But in all honesty, in today's day and age, it's much of a muchness. I mean, you're not going to notice any performance hit on most new PCs. Well,
I've actually noticed with the Death Adder, which is the less advanced, I suppose you could say, mouse from Razer. I don't think the response time has been too slow at all.
No, I mean, most new mice are fairly quick as far as their response time anyway. And it may have some adjustments within the software. This one's just got it built into the hardware. So those are response times. You flick of a switch on the bottom of the mouse and bang, I've just doubled my speed on the mouse.
I mean,
where you can go into the control panel with this one and adjust it manually within the control panel, but it's a little bit more complicated to do.
So these mice are kind of like $25, $32. Around that sort of price range. So they are a good gift idea for
not too
or anyone
extreme,
who...
but, you know, and in all honesty, if I manage to destroy this mouse, I'm not hugely out of pocket. It's it's very light, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely a step up from just a general Microsoft mouse, but it's
got like a comfort zone there as well, where your fingers kind of sit, and they just naturally sit there, just the curves on the front of the mouse there.
They both have that.
I like that. So, just to wrap this up, basically, if you're looking for a good gift idea for somebody who is into gaming, but has only got an old Microsoft mouse.
And you haven't got a really huge budget. A new
Razer
mouse mat or a new mouse.
Can make all the difference to the hardcore, even average gamer out there.